Like, I don't know how to do yoga. I don't either. This is all, I'm just impersonating what I see on TV. Hi, I'm Tamara. I'm an alcoholic. Am I supposed to say that? It's true. So, um, okay, so I'm going to go over some basics of yoga, some of the main things. Set yourself up in an atmosphere where you feel like you can be relaxed, because during the course of a flow, we do a couple things. We usually start out, it reflects the life cycle of a person. So we start out in a little ball on our mat, not yet, but we will. And then we move into kneeling, and then we move into standing, and then we come back to the floor, and then we end in Shavasana, which is Sanskrit for corpse pose. So we follow from birth to death of a human being. And at the end, we'll be laying comfortably on our mat, kind of letting all the tension go. That's our reward at the end of our flow, and just concentrating on the breath and letting yourself just exist. So I hope that you're in an environment where you can be comfortable and feel good about doing that. If you want to light some candles, that's fine. Make sure that they're a safe distance from you so that you don't light your halfway on fire, because that would be unfortunate and I would not be liable. So a couple other things. There is no right way to do yoga. There is just doing yoga. Yoga means to yoke or to connect. And so the things we're working on connecting are breath and movement and mind and body. Don't overthink it. All right. I did these shapes and positions wrong a million times before I did them right. And I still do them wrong because of the way that my body is shaped and my joints are put together. So there's no wrong way to do it. The only wrong way is if you're hurting yourself. On that note, anything that doesn't feel good in your body, don't do. You are living in your body. I'm not. You're the expert in your body. I'm not. So if you feel pinching, if you feel anything that's pushing too hard against the limit of discomfort and coming into pain, please back off. I am more concerned about your well-being than anything else. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. If anyone has knee stuff, shoulder stuff, hip stuff, neck stuff, when we do certain poses, I advise you, if you think it's going to hurt those injuries or you feel them acting up, just don't do them. If I were in person with you, I would give you an idea on how to modify them. But here I'm going to have to kind of give general modifications for poses. Anywhere that I can, I'll give you two options, right? The first one will generally be the easier one. The second one will generally be the harder one. Don't always go for the harder one if it's something where you feel like you're really falling over or you're having pain. Just go for number one. The idea here is to feel comfortable. Anything that's causing a lot of discomfort is not yogic in nature. Okay, now that I gave my full disclosure thing, the first thing that I want you to do, if you're sitting upright, sitting comfortably, maybe legs crossed, is to bring a hand to your abdomen and a hand to your chest. All right, so before we do anything, the first thing we're going to do is bring our attention to our breath. And so what that should be like, or can be like, is as you inhale, your hands rise. And as you exhale, they fall. And if you close your eyes and bring your attention to that motion, maybe you can feel your heartbeat. Maybe you notice that the front of your chest rises a little more and your bottom hand isn't moving. If that's the case, see if you can draw the air a little deeper into your lungs. Remember, the big part of the lungs are actually at the bottom. So the deeper you breathe, the more the belly should inflate and fall. Take another breath. And when you exhale, just bring your hands, palms down to your knees. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And we're going to head into child's pose. And so we're going to kind of roll forward, or you can sit onto one hip, meaning I'm just going to rock forward, put my hands here, and bring my legs behind me. Or you can sit onto one hip and come forward. Either way, now we're in a kneeling pose. And I want you to bring your knees as wide as the mat is and sit your hips back towards your heels. So if I wanted to right now, I could sit up just like this. My toes are pointed. But instead, what we're gonna do is from here, I'm gonna sink my torso down. So bending from my hip crease, I'm gonna drop my chest towards the mat, extend my arms long in front of me, palms facing down, and release my forehead to the mat. And when I do that, I'm also gonna drop my shoulders and drop my forearms. This is child's pose, Balasana. This is your rest position. If it's comfortable for you, this is a place you can come anytime you feel out of breath, you don't like the pose you're in, or you just feel really groovy and you want to relax and come into tune with your breath. As you breathe here, feel your abdomen and chest expand and feel them release and expand and release. Take one more deep breath here. Walk your hands over to the right, keeping your palms flat. If you return your head to the mat, you should feel a stretch through the left side of your body. We have all those intercostal muscles in between the ribs that we don't give a whole lot of attention to. You might even feel some lovely information from your lat, that muscle right under your armpit. And take a breath here. Walk your hands slowly back to the center and over through to the left, keeping your palms anchored, returning the forehead to the mat and feeling that stretch through the right side of the body this time. And breathing into it. Walking the hands back to center. If you want to, can I give you a second if you want to put some gentle music on in the background, maybe from your phone, something you find relaxing. There are some great sound bath videos on YouTube. Oh wait, if you're using your phone for this, then maybe you can't do that. But if you want to take a second and do that, you're welcome to now. It's always nice to have that in the background. If not, I invite you to bring your attention just to the sound of your breath. So as you breathe in and out during your practice, if you maintain the breath through the nose, you should be able to hear the sound of the air moving in and out, like waves on a beach. And so we're here in child's pose. And you can just gently push your palms into the mat and start to roll up into an all fours position. And what I'd like you to do now is you're going to stack your shoulders over your wrists and stack your hips over your knees. And this is called tabletop. The idea here is I want a really solid foundation. So I'm going to spread my fingers wide. I'm going to keep a little bend in my elbows. So I don't want to dump into my joints like this. I want to push up and out of them. And I just realized that my leggings blend into this tapestry a little bit, and that doesn't help you. So I'm going to bring it down. Ah, I was hiding a door frame. Who knew? Okay. So from here, from tabletop, making sure we have a solid foundation and I'm not dipping in the middle. I'm going to draw my belly button up and in towards my spine, and I'm not going to sink into my shoulders. I'm going to push out of my shoulders, nice and strong. And you can tuck your toes at this point, drop the belly and look up as you breathe in. Then flatten your feet, round your spine, and bring your chin to your chest as you breathe out. This is called cat-cow. It warms up the spine. So tuck the toes, drop the belly, look up, inhale. Flatten the feet as you breathe out, round the spine, push the air out. And we're gonna do this a few more times, following the pace of your own breath. Just keep moving. Okay. And on your next inhale, bring your body to neutral. Keeping your gaze down at the mat. I promise I'm not doing anything fancy right now. You can just look at the mat, get some length through the back of the neck, and see if you can kind of pull the shoulders away from the ears so that you're long through your spine, strong in the shoulders. From here, You're just going to tuck your toes, push hard into your palms, push hard into your toes, engage your core, float your knees. So my knees are not on the mat. Oh my gosh, this is hard work. All right, inhale, breathe out, push your hips up and back. My knees are still bent and my head is coming in line with my shoulders. So instead of this, I'm going to push all the way through my shoulders and bring my ears in line with my biceps. Then, because I'm tall, I like to step back with my feet a little bit as I start to straighten out my knees. That doesn't mean I'm bringing my knees all the way straight. This is down dog. You can keep a little bend in the knees. Release the back of the neck. Let the head just kind of drape down towards the mat. And you're staring at your toes. Nice toes. The salons are open. You can get a pedicure. Keep breathing here. Breathe in, roll forward. We're going to come all the way into plank. Oh, everyone's favorite. How exciting. Maybe not. Drop the knees down to the mat. Your hips are still angled forward. You can untuck the toes. Take a breath here. Make sure you're not sagging into your shoulders. You want to push up out of them, spreading the shoulder blades across the back. Take a breath in. Let it out. Breathe in again. We're going to tuck the elbows in towards the rib cage as we bend the elbows. Stop when you get halfway and then push through. Drop the hips, lift the chest. Take a deep breath. If you feel pinching in the lower back, I invite you to back out of this a little bit. It is a deep back bend. From here, breathe in. Exhale, push the hips back, round the spine. Bring yourself all the way into child's pose. This time your knees are closed, so I'm allowing my spine to curl and round over my legs. My forehead comes to the mat, arms stretched out in front. Nice and relaxed. Take 2 deep breaths here. We're going to head forward again. So push into the palms, lift the hips, and I'm going to send my hips forward and down. This time, I'm going to bend my elbows and come all the way down to the mat. I'm going to keep my hands planted on the mat right where they are. For the moment, bring your forehead to the mat. And what we're going to do next doesn't sound complicated, but people tend to mess it up a little bit. So don't worry if you do, not a problem. You want to push into the mat with the tops of your feet. All right, we're going to keep the feet rooted for this. As you inhale, squeeze your elbows behind you. You're going to look forward, lift the head, lift just the front of the chest. This engages the mid back and a little bit of the lower back. Take a breath here. You'll find it might be a little difficult. That's okay. As you exhale, come all the way back to the mat. We're going to do that one more time, but this time see if you can lift the hands as well. So breathe in, squeeze the elbows, lift the front of the chest, look up forward a little bit, lift the hands. Ooh, I really feel that in the mid back. Breathe in here. As you exhale, come all the way back to the mat. Nice. Push into the palms. Send the hips back. We're coming back into tabletop, so that'll require a little movement. Bring the shoulders to stack right over the wrists and bring the knees to stack right underneath the hips. From here, we're going to do a little bit of core work. I know you guys were like, when are we going to do core work? Well, right now is the answer. So everyone's excited, I can tell. I want to make sure that we're engaging our core right now before we even move. So what that looks like is when I say draw the belly button towards the spine, one way you can achieve that is by thinking about hooking your tailbone down towards the mat. So I'm tilting my pelvis so that my tailbone comes towards the mat, just a tiny movement, and that allows my abdominals to engage. Now I want the core to be strong because right now we're going to do a little bit of balance stuff. So bring your weight into your left hand. You're just going to lift your right hand, send it long in front of you, palm facing in, and then start to straighten out your left leg. So we're on right arm is up, left leg is up. You can keep your toe on the mat as option 1. Option 2, flex your foot and lift that leg hip height. Now, if you're doing this, make sure your belly hasn't started to drop, right? I want to really engage my belly. That way my hamstring is working. Keep staring at the mat. Hold this for a second. Breathe in. As you exhale, bring the knee and elbow to touch underneath. You can round your spine and push the mat away. When you inhale, get long again. And as you exhale, knee to elbow. Again, get long. And as you breathe out, knee to elbow. Inhale, get long. Stay there for a moment, just for funsies. Bring the right hand down, bring the left knee down, and rock side to side reset. Who'd have thought these little tiny movements, right? Yeah. No, just me? Okay, right, you're all on mute, so. Bring your weight into your right hand. Engage your core. Inhale, lift the left arm, palm faces in. Be strong through that right shoulder. And then slowly start to straighten out that right leg. So I got left arm up, right leg up. Keep breathing. Option 1, keep the right toe on the mat. Option 2, flex that foot, lift the foot hip height. Make sure your core is engaged. Take a deep breath in, lift the arm and leg a little higher. On your exhale, push the mat away, round the spine, knee to elbow. Breathe in, get long. Exhale, knee to elbow. Breathe in, get long. One more time. Really push the mat away. Really hold that knee and elbow together for fun. Go ahead and get long again. And exhale everything back to the mat. Rock side to side. Shake it out a little. So what we're doing is kind of a version of vinyasa. Vinyasa, usually you do one breath with one movement, but we're going to do a couple breaths each movement for a few more cues, give you a little bit more time to enjoy the sensation. Some of the warm downs will be even longer. So if at any time, like I said, you need to rest, just come to child's pose. That's perfectly fine. From here, tuck the toes, float the knees, hips come up and back. We're heading back into down dog. So whichever length of stance, so like, in other words, however far back you walk your feet for this, whatever felt good for you, do that now. Everyone's down dog looks a little different. On your inhale, I want you to gaze forward, and you're just gonna walk your feet towards your hands, concentrating on lifting the feet. Take your time. Once you get your weight into your feet, it's okay to have a bend in the knees. Plant your hands on your shins, and as you inhale, lift up halfway, strong through the core. And as you exhale, you fold from the hip crease, let yourself dangle towards the ground. Backs of the hands come to the mat. Release. Okay to have a bend in the knees. In fact, please don't lock them. There should at least be a micro bend there. I'm going to have you roll up. So from here, keep the arms heavy. Just start to roll up like a rag doll all the way to standing. When you reach the top, inhale, shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. When you exhale, push them back and down. Take a moment, palms facing the front of your mat. Take a deep breath in. Close the eyes, hands to heart center. Pushing your thumbs into your sternum, I want you to find your breath. So feel for the rise and fall of your breath. Remember that that's your central focus as you move. And see if you can feel your heartbeat. Relax the shoulders. Relax the jaw. From here, inhale, lift the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, hands to heart center. One more time, movement with breath. Inhale, arms come up and out. Exhale, this time we're going to fold. So we're going to fold forward, bending at the hip crease, coming all the way down. And when I inhale, that halfway lift, I'm doing it again. So I'm just lifting up halfway. Exhale, plant both hands on the mat, step both feet back, coming back into plank. From here, heading back into down dog. So hips come up and back. Push into the heels. On your inhale, lift the right leg off of the mat, point it towards the sky. Try and keep your hips level. Bring that right knee forward towards the right elbow as you stack your shoulders over your wrists. Whew. Inhale, send that leg up and back again. On your exhale, you're gonna cross your body, bring the right knee to the left elbow. So you gotta dip that hip down, really push that mat away. Inhale, right leg comes up and back again. Last time, we're gonna bend the knee, bring it in towards the third eye. Right knee to forehead. Inhale, leg comes up and back. Stack your right hip over your left, so your hips are rotating. Keeping the shoulders as square as you can. Bend your right knee, opening the hip. Take a breath here. Exhale, bring it back down. This time, we're gonna do the same thing. Left leg, I know you're tired, it's okay. Breathe in. Left leg extends towards the sky. As you exhale, left knee comes to left elbow. Roll forward. Breathe in, send that left leg back. Breathe out, left knee to right elbow, cross the body. Breathe in, left leg comes up and back. Last time, left knee comes to third eye. Roll forward, bring it to your forehead. Push that mat away. Breathe in, send the leg up and back. All right, now stack that left hip over the right, bend that left knee. Breathe. As you exhale, left foot joins the right foot. We're gonna walk our hands towards rock our feet towards our hands, pardon me. Although you can do it the other way, it's totally up to you. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Keep your back flat, arms come out. We're gonna rise to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Push those thumbs into your sternum, find your breath. Close your eyes and breathe. We're gonna take 3 long breaths here. As I try to find the optimal position to be in. Okay, that's better. One more deep breath. As you exhale, drop your hands. Palms are gonna face me. From here, you're gonna put your hands on your hips, bringing your weight into your right foot. So we're gonna find the easiest way to get into a lunge. My weight is in my right foot, my hip is strong. I got a little bend in my right knee, right? I don't wanna lock it out. I wanna keep it nice and strong. And I'm gonna start to lift my left leg up. My toe is still on the mat though. And all I'm gonna do is send that foot back. And once I find a position I'm happy in, I'm just gonna step back into the foot, that's it. All I did was take a step back. So again, boop, that's it. I just made it like a really yogic and fun. So from here, inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. And you're gonna fold from that hip crease again. So I'm just gonna send my body forward. And as soon as I start to get information from my right hamstring, I'm gonna stop and I'm still looking forward, right? My chest is still lifted. I haven't rounded in the spine. Pull that right hip back a little bit. It's gonna wanna splay forward. If you pull it back, you're gonna get information from the outside of the right hip also. Once you find your happy place, see if on your exhale, you can come down a little bit. And then once you're here, and your body's like, hey, that's good, you can stop. Go ahead and release towards the ground. You can bring your hands on either side of that foot, give yourself a little extra balance. And just breathe. Take a few breaths here. See what kind of information you get. If you want more, so here's option 2. You can actually flex your foot, so bringing your right toes towards your forehead so that you're only on your right heel. Trust me, you'll get more info from that leg. You can let your head drop. Take a deep breath. Exhale. If you came to your heel, go ahead and flatten your right foot. And everybody step that left leg up to meet the right. We're gonna inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, come all the way to standing. Arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close the eyes. One deep breath here. Go ahead and drop those hands to your hips. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So, all my weight is in my left foot. Start to lift the right leg. And I'm taking my step back. So whatever length worked for you on the other side, find that same one here. I want my hips nice and balanced in the center. I want to feel comfy, steady. All right, inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, I'm just gonna come forward. I'm folding from the hip crease, right? My chest is coming forward, dropping my arms to wherever they wanna go. Maybe my knee, maybe my shin. And when I find the spot I'm happy in, pull that left hip back a little. Feel that information on the outside. Breathe in. Your exhale brings you down a little more. And when you find your happy spot, go ahead and release your hands to either side of that foot and get comfy. Or get uncomfy, if that suits you. Now remember, just like, eyebrows are sisters and not twins, you've always got a good one and an unruly one. You'll have the same thing with your body. So you'll find that you have a stronger hip and you have a weaker or tighter hamstring. So the shape on one side of the body might not always look like it does on the other side. And that's perfectly fine. Don't force it. If you popped to your heel on the other side, go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Whoop. Lifting those left toes, pointing them towards your forehead, hating yourself for making that decision, regretting it immediately, and deciding to put that foot back down. Go ahead and let that right foot step up to join the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. With a flat back, strong core, I'm going to engage my, what are these called? I'm going to engage my hamstrings, bring myself all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Find your breath. All right. Now that we've done a little bit of lungy, we're going to get there the fun way. And when I say fun, anytime I say fun, what I mean is not fun. So inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you breathe out, we're going to plant those hands, step both feet to the back of the mat. From here, full plank, you have two options. Option one, drop the knees. Option two, stay in full plank. But either way, we're going to bend the elbows, stop halfway. Once you stop, inhale, push forward, drop the hips, point the toes. You're an upward facing dog. So my shoulders are engaged, my quads are engaged. I'm pushing into the tops of my feet and my palms. I'm going to tuck my toes, inhale. Exhale, push my hips up and back, heading back into downward facing dog. Congratulations. You just did a chaturanga. A slow version, but it was still a chaturanga. Take a moment here. We're going to inhale, lift the right leg. We're heading into a lunge, so listen carefully. I'm going to bend my right knee, bring it in towards my chest. I round my back and really push the mat away and then bring that right foot forward. If it stops short, that's okay. Just walk it forward. It'll look really ungraceful and it works. We're going to lift our torso up, so be ready. Inhale, push into the right foot, lift, rise. My hips are pointing forward, so they should be pointing right towards the front of the mat. My back heel is off the mat. Inhale, lift the chest, reach the arms up towards the ceiling, palms facing in. This is crescent lunge. As you exhale, bring the arms to a T. You're going to hinge forward, bring that left hand down to the mat. Right arm is going to extend overhead. If you want to, you're allowed to drop the back knee. Right now, I'm getting a twist from the middle of my body. Breathe. Breathe out. Bring that right hand back to the mat. All I'm going to do from here is step my left leg up to meet my right. Start to straighten out the knees a tiny bit. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way to standing. Going straight into a fold. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. As you breathe out, we're going to plant those hands again. Step both feet to the back of the mat. You should be a little familiar with where we're going. Whichever option you take, knees down or knees up. Breathe in. Exhale, bend the elbows. Stop halfway. Inhale, push forward, point the toes. Exhale, hips come up and back. Downward facing dog. From here, take a moment, get your breath. Whenever I say that, I'm actually saying it for myself because I'm out of breath. Inhale, lift the left leg. As you exhale, bend that knee, bring it in towards your center. Push the mat away, round your spine, and lunge that left leg through, planting the foot in between the hands. What's important about walking this foot forward is that when we rise, you don't want your knee to be out over your toes. It's unsafe. So, however far you got to walk it forward, do that. Get ready. Lift. Torso comes up, shoulders open. I want my hips in the middle. Back heel is off the mat. Inhale, arms rise. Palms facing in. You can gaze at the ceiling or gaze forward, whichever suits you. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe in. Breathe out, hands to a T. Hinge forward. Right hand comes to the mat this time. Left arm extends overhead, getting a twist. Option 2 is always to drop the knee. When you breathe out next, bring that left hand down to the mat. We're going to do the same thing. Push off your right foot. It joins the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, come all the way to standing. Hands to heart center. Push the thumbs into the chest. Breathe. Keep your eyes closed. Focus on the beat of your heart. Listen to the sound of your breath. Drop the arms to your sides. Palms are facing forward. Tadasana, mountain pose. Strong through the legs, strong through the core. And when I say that, what I mean is I'm pulling my belly button in and I'm wrapping my tailbone down towards the mat. So instead of sinking into my back, I tilt my pelvis and I really pull my belly button up and in, and my tailbone down. So this is a very strong, strong pose, even though it looks like I'm just standing here. Once you're here, take another breath. Let it out. On your inhale, reach your arms up. And on your exhale, fold forward from the hip crease, right from here. Sending my chest forward and then down. And on my breath in, I'm gonna lift up halfway. On my breath out, I think you know what's coming next. Plant the hands, step both feet to the back of the mat. Whichever option you take, go through your chaturanga. Bend the elbows, stop halfway, push through and forward, point the toes, strong through the shoulders on your inhale. And on your exhale, hips come up and back. Pushing into the heels, back into downward facing dog. Gotta love this one. You don't gotta love this one. You don't gotta do anything, honestly. Inhale, roll forward into plank. So I might have to move my feet for this. And we're gonna do 2 options. Option 1, drop the right knee. And we're gonna float that left leg and lift our left arm. Option 2 is to roll to the outside of the right foot and lift the left arm. I gaze at my mat because if I look up, I'll fall. And this is side plank. It's awful, but also really good for you. Breathe in. Never mind the sound of me panting. Exhale, square the shoulders, square the hips, come back to plank. We're gonna do the same thing other side. So if you took the option, then you can go ahead and drop your left knee as we rotate and lift the right arm. If you want full side plank, roll to the outside of the left foot and come all the way up to full plank. Lift your hips, push into the mat. Breathe in. Question your life decisions. Ask yourself why you became a yoga instructor when you can't climb a flight of stairs without getting out of breath. Go ahead and square your shoulders back to the mat. Come into full plank. Drop the knees. Sit the hips back, and we're going to take child's pose. Well, I am. You can join me if you want. I'm going to take 3 long breaths here. Roll back up. I'm going to come into tabletop. From tabletop, tuck the toes, push into the mat, strong through the shoulders, hips come up and back, down dog. If you're sick of me saying down dog, I understand. Lift the right leg, point that toe towards the sky. We're going to lunge it through. So breathe in, breathe out, lunge the leg through, plant it between the hands. This time I want you to roll your back heel in and down. So I've got my right leg forward. I'm going to roll my left heel in and down, then push into my right foot. Rise, arms come out. So for this one, my hips are open to the side of my mat. My arms come up, I'm gazing out over my right arm. Your lunge should have the same trademarks, meaning I don't want my right knee out over my foot. This time my back foot is flat. Breathe in, breathe out. Go ahead and bring that left hand to your left thigh. Right arm extends overhead. Exalted warrior. Pull yourself back up. We're going to bend the right elbow, bring it to the right knee. Left arm extends overhead. You can gaze up at the sky if you want, or at the blinding light that's over my face right now. Breathe in, pull yourself back up. This time, I'm going to straighten that knee. Bring my hands to my hips. Point both of my toes over to my left. So now I'm squared off. Yes, good. I'm going to get a little pigeon-toed. So I'm going to bring my toes in a little bit more than my heels and put a little bend in my knees. I don't want you to lock your legs. Little bend in the knees. We're going to do the same thing we normally do in a forward fold, only this time it's wide-legged. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, I'm going to fold from the hip crease. Start to come forward. Try not to stick your butt back. Find your happy place. So I like to keep my spine long and engaged. My abdomen's engaged and my breath is helping me deepen the stretch. So I inhale, and when I breathe out, I let my weight settle a little bit more forward. So I'm kind of letting gravity do the work for me. And whenever you get to where you're going, go ahead and drop your head. Release the tension from the back of the neck. If you want to, you can walk your hands back so that they're in line with your feet. Take another breath here. Keeping a little bend in the knees, you're going to inhale, slowly start to lift yourself back up to standing. Really engage the butt, engage the belly, pull yourself back up. Bring the hands to the hips when you're there, and just gently walk your feet in. Face the front of your mat. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands to heart center. Find your breath. Arms come out and up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, plant the hands. Coming into plank, step both feet back. Whichever option you take it for your chaturanga. Bend the elbows. Stop halfway. Inhale, push forward. Exhale, hips come up and back. Downward facing dog. Nice, one breath per movement. Nice little flow there. So we already did this on the right side. We're going to do it on the left. So I'm going to lift my left leg, point it towards the sky, and I'm going to lunge it through. Plant that left foot. If you need to walk it forward, as always, do that. This time you're going to rotate your right foot in and down. And I'm always facing the wrong way when I do this. Rotate that right foot in and down. So my full right foot is in contact with the mat. I'm going to push into my left foot, lift. My hips are open. Inhale, arms come up. Take a few deep breaths here. Check in to make sure you can see your toes. You don't want that knee too far forward. Inhale, bring the right hand to the right thigh. Left arm extends overhead. Breathe in, come back up. Bend that left elbow, bring it to the left knee. Right arm extends overhead. You can gaze up if you like. Breathe. Come back up. Straighten that front knee. Hands to hips and turn both toes the same direction. I don't know which way you're facing, so just turn them. Good. Pigeon-toed again this time. I'm going to reach my arms behind me. My palms are facing one another, and I'm going to clasp my hands behind my back. Okay? So if you want to, you can keep a bend in the elbows. If straightening them out will help you open the front of your chest, do that. So the idea here is if I straighten my arms out, my collarbones will spread. It'll get into my shoulders. Okay. So I'm here. I'm going to do a wide-legged forward fold with a heart opener. So inhale. And as you breathe out, you're going to start to fold from the hip crease. This is always fun in a packed yoga class because you have to be mindful of the butt in front of you. I've seen some really interesting dodging going on. You can let the hands fall away from the back. Breathe in. Let it go. Slowly start to draw yourself back up. And once you reach the top, you can release the hands, shake out the arms. Take your time, we're not in a rush. Nice. From here, heel toe the feet together. Face the front of your mat. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now that we're warm, we're gonna do the hard part. Aren't you excited? I'm not. Go ahead and, I'm just kidding. Bring all of your weight into your right foot. And when I say that, I mean, I've got an active foot, right? My toes aren't just flopping there like they would in a shoe. I'm kind of gripping the mat with my toes. I've got a little bend in my right knee and my right hip is strong. So instead of my hips being cockeyed like this, I'm gonna pull my hips even and do that thing where we engage the belly. So I have a really active core right now, really active hip. This foundation leg is what's important. So my right leg is my anchor because I'm going to start lifting my left one. So bringing my hands to my hips, all I'm going to do is come to the tippy toe of my left foot. I don't really have any weight in it, but it's like a balance, like a little kickstand. I'm going to rotate my left leg out to the side. Careful that the hips stay in line. Option one, I keep my toe on the mat. Perfectly fine. Option two, I bring the inside of my foot to the inside of my ankle. So inside of my left foot to the inside of the right ankle. Option three, bring the foot to the calf. There is no option for the knee because it's really bad for the knee. Anybody that wants to show off, trust me, I don't, I hate this pose. You can bring the foot all the way up to the inside of the thigh. Trying to keep the hips even when you do. You really got to dig that heel into your thigh if you want to keep it there. Personally, I don't. So I'm going to opt for this one. And once you get happy and you're balanced, inhale, lift the arms. And grow branches. Congratulations, you're in tree pose, the one everybody does on Instagram. You're a yogi now. If you want an extra challenge, close your eyes. Oh, that's different. Inhale, bring the hands back to heart center. Bring that knee back to the center line. Go ahead and release it to the mat. Now, if you're really using your foundation, you should feel that in the right foot and the right hip. We're going to give it a shot on the other side. These are just our warm-up balance poses. You guys are impressive. Bring all your weight into your left foot. So remember, active foot, tiny micro bend in the knee, active hip. My hips are even. I'm coming to the tippy toe of my right foot because I don't have any weight in it. It helps to focus on one spot when you do this. Slowly rotate that right knee out to the side. I'm opening the groin here, right? Option one, this is it. Option two, sole the foot to the ankle. Option three, to the calf. Option, we get it, you do yoga. Go ahead and bring it all the way up to the inside of your thigh. Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not having it. I get a bruise on the inside of my thigh when I do this, so something's wrong. All right. From here, when you're happy, inhale, grow limbs. Beautiful trees. Don't lose sight of the forest. Anyone? Big book reference? All right, hands come back to heart center. Rotate that knee back to the midline. Drop the foot. Walk it out. Now walk it out. All right. We're going to do another one. This one's really fun. Remember what I mean when I say fun. You bring your weight to your right foot again, okay? You're going to start to bend that left knee. I'm just turning so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, I've got a strong hip, strong foot. I'm going to start to draw my left knee up in towards my chest. I'm going to reach for my left shin with my left hand. Now watch what happens. My back rounds when I do this. So in order to really pull this leg back, I'm going to draw my shoulders back. Stand up straight again. Send the chest towards the ceiling. Not like towards the ceiling, but you know what I mean. All right, now that I'm here, focus on one spot. I'm going to bring the leg out to the side. So I'm here. Inhale, lift the right arm, grow a branch. Really engage through that right leg, right? My left leg is doing next to nothing. My right leg is doing all the work. From here, bring it back to the center, but I'm not going to set it down yet. I'm going to send my chest forward and my leg back. All right, you can keep a bend in the leg. The idea, I want you to flex your foot and counterbalance yourself. So your chest is coming forward and your leg is coming up. If you want to, you can bring your hands out to the side like a little airplane. I want the hips to be even. So drop that left hip. Make sure you're not opening up through that hip. This really works the outside of the right hip. Ooh, I'm obsessed now, Mom. Start to counter rotate. We're not putting that leg down yet. Oh yeah. Send that right leg out in front of you. So it looks like this. You can point the toe if you want. Arms come up towards the ceiling. Breathe. As you exhale, hands come to hips. Left foot comes back to the mat. Woo, how about that? Yeah? Yeah? Let's do it on the other side. Okay. Yeah, you feel it in the right one, don't you? All right. This time my weight's in my left. And do the same thing. Make sure this is active before I start drawing my leg up, because this leg's not doing the work. This one is. Once I get it up, I'm going to grab that right shin with the right hand, pull the shoulders back, engage the core. Breathe. Go ahead and draw that leg to the outside. Nice. Grow a limb if you like. Look at how beautiful you are. Admire the scenery and bring that leg back to the center. Remember, it's not going down yet. We're going to counterbalance, right? So we're going to send that right leg back. Send my chest forward. Want to make sure that right hip stays even. That really works the left hip. This is my weaker hip, so I had more shaking on this side. That's fine. Bring the arms out to the side. Strong through the shoulders, strong through the abdomen. Breathe in, start to counter rotate. Don't forget to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Straighten that leg out. Arms come up. Hold it. Hold it. And slowly lower the right leg back to the mat. Hands to hips. Breathe. Shake it out. Shake it out. All right. Bring your hands to heart center. Close the eyes. Find your breath. Arms come out and up. We're going to do another chaturanga. Your favorite. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant those hands. Feet come to the back of the mat. Maybe you jump this time. That's awesome. Breathe in. As you exhale, bend those elbows. Breathe and push through. Point the toes. And as you exhale, hips come up and back. Downward facing dog. Amazing. Isn't that nice? Roll forward into plank. Why? Just for fun. Hold the hips up. Push into the palms. Go ahead and lower the knees. From here, you're going to cross your ankles And you're just gonna sit back. Ta-da. All right, so right now we're gonna do some hip stuff because we just worked the hips pretty hard. But did you die? You didn't. You didn't. I can see you. All right, so we're in regular cross leg, right? You guys can drink some water now if you want. Deep breath. Nice. Okay. Your left leg is going to stay where it is. Wherever your right leg is, I want you to grab it, straighten it out. On top of the left one. So my left leg is here. My right leg is on top of the left one. Okay. From here, I'm sitting up tall. I want my abdomen engaged, as always, right? And I'm going to reach for my right ankle. And I'm just going to stack my right ankle on top of my left knee. Now, if this hip is really tight, this knee will stay like this, but I want your foot engaged. So your foot should look like that. Keeping your foot like that, bring it over the knee. The idea here is not to fold forward. The idea here is to sit up tall, and that knee will start to drop on its own. If I sit up tall and I draw my breastbone up towards the ceiling and arch my back and tilt my pelvis forward a little bit, this knee will automatically start to push down. That's what talks to the outside of the right hip. So breathe. And if you want to, you can start to tilt forward a little bit. Then your right hip will give you even more information. It's telling you all kinds of things. But if it's telling you stop, then stop. 2 deep breaths here. To get out of this, you're going to lean back, bringing your hands behind you, fingers facing forward, and just bend both knees, plant both feet on the mat, and windshield wiper your knees. Okay, we're going to do the same thing other side. So this time my right leg is coming to the mat, right? Like I'm going into Indian style, and then left leg on top. I'm going to reach for my left ankle. I'm going to slowly bring that left ankle, right? My foot is active. Left ankle comes to the top of the right knee. Remember, this knee might stay up. If it does, it's okay. This hip is tight. I'm sitting up, and this knee is coming down. Once it finds the spot it wants to be in, let it. The idea always is to fold from the hip crease. And as I tilt forward a little bit, bringing my chest forward, not down, I'll feel the outside of my left hip talking to me. What's it saying? It's saying, I'm so grateful you took this hour to come to your mat and be nice to yourself. It's saying, look at how powerful yoga is. It's saying, become a yoga teacher, all of you. Do it. We need more yoga teachers. Your hip has a lot of information for you. Listen to your hip, it's smart. Inhale, come back up. Plant the hands behind you. Bring both legs long in front of you. We're going to windshield wiper the feet. And do a quick little hamstring and groin stretch. I'm just going to sit up tall and I'm going to tilt forward, right? I don't want to worry about folding. I'm just tilting forward. Grab whatever you can. Sit up tall. Breathe in. Little bend in the knees is okay. Big bend in the knees is okay. Whatever works for your hamstrings. And whatever you can reach. And just let your breath do the rest. On your next inhale, come back up. We're going to bring the legs wide. If you have a really tight groin or hamstrings, it's okay to bend the knees. All right, that's perfectly fine. The idea here, I want to get into the groin and the hamstrings a little bit. The idea, if you have really tight hamstrings, is to push the knees towards the ground. You don't have to get them to touch the ground, but push them in that direction as you sit up straight. If sitting up straight is where this stretch is for you, beautiful. That's your stretch. Listen to your body. If you want more, you can push those knees towards the mat, flex the feet, active feet, right? And walk forward. Notice I'm not curving in the back. I'm walking my hands forward. My chest is up. leaning forward with my breath. I'm more interested in getting my belly towards the ground than I am my nose, because we can do nose all day long and not get anything out of it. Take another breath here. Exhale. Slowly draw yourself back up. From here, help your legs grab the outside, pull them in together. You don't want to pull the groin. You're going to bend your knees, bring both feet flat to the mat. Arms come out in front, round your spine, start to lower yourself down to the mat. Nice and slow. Once you reach the mat, let your shoulders melt into the mat. You're going to draw your knees nice and easy up towards you. Give yourself a little hug. Rock side to side. Nice rocking motion. That's lovely. From here, I'm just going to let my legs fall over to the right. So my hips are turning, but my shoulders are staying on the mat. I'm going to take my left arm and extend it out to the side and gaze over my left hand. So I'm in a full spinal twist right now. Right? My hips are all the way to the right, shoulders are square, head is to the left. Take a breath here. Nice and easy, draw those knees back in towards your center. We're going to do the same thing other side. Slowly let the knees and the legs fall to the left. Hips are coming with them. My shoulders are on the mat. Bring my right arm out to the side. Gaze over the right hand. Take a breath. Nice and easy. Bring those knees back in towards the center. From here, we've got a couple options. You can either bring yourself to butterfly legs, which means I'm going to release my legs to the mat. The soles of my feet are going to come together and my knees are going to fall to the side. Right? And I can bring my arms wherever feels good. Maybe I like them here. Maybe I want them out. Maybe I want them over my head. Maybe I want them on my heart, my belly. And this is one option. If this feels really nice, Supta Baddha Konasana, my favorite Sanskrit pose, reclined butterfly. This is perfect for you if you like it. If this isn't great, go ahead and bring your legs long, not right next to each other. We want to point the heels out towards the sides of the mat, towards the corners. And again, with the hands, you can bring them out to the sides, palms facing up, maybe palms facing down. If you want a more grounding pose, you can bring them out. Cactus arms over your head, whatever you like. You can do the hand jive if you're into that, that's fine. Find something that works for you. And right now we're going to take Shavasana. So this is your final pose. And that means I'm going to give you a few moments. Sorry, not a few moments, a few minutes of silence. Closing your eyes. I'm going to start by just bringing your attention to your breath. And remember that thoughts are going to come and they're going to go. You're just finding a position that you can stay comfortable in. If you want, maybe you can lay something over the eyes to block out light. Whatever environment you're in, this is your time. So let your thoughts come and go without judgment. You don't have anywhere to be or anything to do for the next minute or two. Just breathe. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Long exhale out the mouth. Like one more of those. Nice deep inhale. Long exhale. Slowly start to draw your knees back in towards your center. Heading back into that little ball, giving ourselves a hug, rocking side to side. Nice and easy. You're going to roll over to your right side. Real slow. Like you're laying yourself down nice and gentle. Bring your left hand to the mat. Keeping your eyes closed, you're just going to slowly sit up. Pushing into the left hand. The same way we started, come to a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Bring your hands, palms facing down to the knees. Inhale, sit up tall. Let the breath go. Drop the shoulders, relax the jaw. Bring your hands to heart center. As you inhale, lift them to your third eye. Thank you guys so much for practicing with me. Hope you have a lovely weekend. Namaste.